A strong warning from the NAACP. Travel to Florida at your own risk. The civil rights group is fighting back against Governor Ron DeSantis' anti-woke vision with a formal travel advisory. The NAACP claims the state has become hostile towards African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ individuals. And as DeSantis is eyeing trading Tallahassee for the Beltway, his success in passing anti-woke legislation has already influenced at least 121 different far-right proposals in state legislatures throughout the country, targeting trans children, libraries, educators, and fundamental education. Meanwhile, what's left of Florida's education has become the battleground for basic human rights. More than 170 books about Black historical figures and LGBTQ themes are under review in schools. Students' access to an AP course on African American studies was rejected. And when it couldn't get any worse, last week, DeSantis poured more fuel on the fire after signing a bill into law banning diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in Florida's public colleges and universities. Joining me now for more is Derek Johnson, President and CEO of the NAACP. Derek, it's a pleasure to have you on my show. You and I had the privilege of speaking a couple of days ago, right when the NAACP issued its travel advisory. It's not every day, though. A civil rights group is going to issue a travel advisory. I went back and I looked. The NAACP has only done it 2 prior times in the history of the organization. So why a travel advisory versus maybe just a formal condemnation of the policies in Florida? And why is it so important to do it now?
I think what the governor and the Florida State Legislative Body have done is create a very hostile environment for many individuals. And considering that he's now seeking to become the president of the United States, what he has done in Florida could potentially happen in 49 other states. That is un-American, is undemocratic, and we need to heed the warning of how he thinks now before it's too late. We cannot stand another 4 years of anything similar to a Donald Trump presidency.
I did read, Derek, that part of, if not the biggest genesis of this travel advisory for the NAACP is to galvanize voters, to get people to go and make sure we don't have a repeat performance of somebody like Ron DeSantis. The latest census numbers show more than 3 million of Florida's residents are Black, and they make up 13% of the state's 14.5 million registered voters. Black people are forming a key part of the Democratic electorate, voting overwhelmingly for the party's candidates. Do you think this travel advisory is going to provide the necessary movement and education for people to get out and vote?
You think of how people campaign with one platform, but they actually govern differently. And the governor campaigned not as harsh as he's governed. And so the wake-up call for Floridians is something that's really important, and we need to also give a wake-up call to Americans across the country. And this is not only a black and white issue. This is an issue about individual liberties and the ability to be educated with a level of quality about information. This is an individual who seeks to otherize communities that may not align with his belief of what America should be. This is not 1950. This is 2023, and we should be prepared to take out any individual with a mindset to want to reverse time.
DeSantis has misconstrued, misrepresented the reason behind the NAACP's travel advisory. He's blasting it, calling it a, quote, political stunt. And then he touts Florida's low crime rates. However, I wanted my viewers to know this as well. Nearly 40% of law enforcement agencies across the country, including more than half in Florida, they failed to report 2021 crime data because of new methodology. So knowing the fact that DeSantis is just going to scoff and say it's a political stunt, how is the NAACP preparing to move forward after announcing this travel advisory?
So much of what he's done has all been about a political stunt to elevate his profile in his quest to become president. So he is an expert on what is a political stunt. In terms of the travel advisory, it's unique how every time he speaks, he conflates the issue with something else. This is about the atmosphere, the political landscape of Florida and how it's attacking African Americans, other communities of colors, the Latino community, the LGBT community. Now, how is that equal to crime? I don't know, other than that's another dog whistle approach to equate crime with people of color. And so we need to move away from that mindset. And for the NAACP, this is about educating the masses, making sure we don't abandon African Americans and other communities who are in Florida, preparing for the next election because we got here because of the election. Therefore, we need to work hard now for the upcoming elections. And most importantly, make sure the American public understand the disastrous approach he has taken through public policy to minimize quality education. All of those things are very important. Those are American issues, it's not Black issues or Latino issues. Those are American issues.
Yeah, Derek, we're going to watch this very carefully. I know it's not about the financial impact on the state, but you know what? Maybe it will have a profound one that's going to make people pay attention and listen. In the meantime, I thank you, Derek Johnson, for joining us this morning and letting our viewers know about the importance of this travel advisory. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.